Hey there, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video I'm doing a review of the Joyful Heart 2018 planner. So Deb from Joyful Heart reached out to me, she found me through my blog and she was like, would you like to do a review of my planner? I was like, a free planner? How can I say no? Yes, love doing planner reviews. So it's finally arrived, took a little while to get here. They're based in the US, I'm in Australia if you're wondering why my accent sounds a little funny. So the planner's a pretty good size, not too big, not too small. It is about 7 inches wide by, I think it's about 8.5 when I measured it before. Yeah, by about 8.5 inches high. So let's have a look inside. So it has a cover that is a bit different to most planners. It's a very thin, it's not really, it doesn't feel like cardstock. It's kind of like shiny matte finish. Not really sure what you'd call it. It is bending a bit, so I'm not sure how durable it will be in the long run. Most planners that have this type of cover also have a frosted cover to protect it, so not sure. We'll have to see how that one goes. The cover binding, is spiral binding, feels pretty sturdy, and there is a little bit of wiggle room. As you can see, those covers are expanding a bit there if you wanted to decorate with planner stickers. So let's take a look inside. So we've got a bucket list page, which is also always really handy for annual planning, and then a pocket folder. Can never have too many of these. Also comes with a page marker, which is very handy. I love when they have bookmarks built into planners or come with it. And then also has a little brochure info sheet on how to use it. Always very handy. I'm so interested in seeing how other people use planners. I always like when they include that. Okay, so then we go into the actual planner. It's got line writing space and some open-ended space. This is cardstock, which feels a bit bendy. Have to see how that one goes. And then this divider page, I'm quite liking it because you could color it in. I know it sounds a bit weird, but adult coloring in is actually quite relaxing. I used to think it was a bit weird, but now I do that and brush lettering, and it is actually quite relaxing, gives your eyes a break from the computer screen, so we'll have to color this one in. The dividers are a thin cardstock. They do feel quite thin. As you can see, it's bending quite a bit. The tabs themselves, though, are actually really durable. They're like a thicker cardstock than this, it feels like, or maybe it's just that it's got super duper laminate on it, but they are really sturdy. Probably one of the sturdiest tabs I've seen in a planner, so that's definitely a major pro. Okay, so my mum would love this calendar spread because these numbers and the days of the week are really big, bold font. So you won't need glasses to read that, so that's definitely a pro. Starts in January 2018, runs for 12 months. Monthly spread starts on a Sunday, and the weekly spread also starts on a Sunday. Yippee! Some planners, for whatever weird reason, start on a Sunday, but then the weekly spread's a Monday. That always confuses me, so really good that this one keeps it consistent. Lots of space down the bottom for note-taking without compromising, having nice big boxes to write in. The boxes are about 1.5 inches by about 1.25 high, so it's a fair bit of space to write in, which is good. And then you've got a sidebar, which is lined as well. So along with the monthly calendar, you've got note-taking space, can never have too many of that, and then a budget page. So most planners don't include a budget page. If that's important for you to be like built into the planner, rather than having to get a printable and stick it onto a notes page and sacrifice a notes page, then this would be a good option for you because it's got it built in and little checkboxes for when it's paid. Love checkboxes. Okay, so the weekly spread. So I was quite intrigued by this weekly spread because there's a lot going on the pages. You can categorize things quite well. So let's start up the top here. It's got the month and the days on the side, which I really like because then if you're flicking through, you can easily see what week it's up to, which is really good. Always like when they do that on the side. And then I like the weekly goals. This is quite a small writing space, as you can probably see when I put my finger there. It is about 0.25 high, so you will need small writing if you want to use this planner. Okay, so on the side we've got the Sunday to Saturday sidebar. So I quite like this sidebar because then you can separate things that happen daily, for example meal planning, so it doesn't take up space here in the actual daily planning column. Also do cleaning tasks, blog post. So I do quite like this sidebar idea. Not many planners do that with the built-in days of the week when you just need that little bit of extra space, or you could do most important tasks, priorities. And then in the weekly spread, it also prints the public holidays. So most planners will only print that on the monthly spread, but this one prints it on the monthly and then also on the weekly spread as well, which is handy so you don't have to keep flicking back and forth. Now the hours of the planner are 7 AM to 7 PM. For a night owl like myself, I probably wouldn't start it at 7 AM. I'd probably start at 9 AM. I don't get out of bed that early. So if I use this planner, I think I would have to do a list on sticky notes. For example, these ones here I got from Officeworks, and then you could number the tasks, and then instead of writing it in here, just put the number and stick this in with it, so then you don't have to keep rewriting the same tasks as well. So if you do the same thing at 3 o'clock each day, rather than writing that in, you can just put it here and then just put the number reference. So that's one idea. If you're in the US and don't have access to Officeworks, then the Post-it Note 3M ones are also really good. These are nice and big, and they're super sticky as well. Like, all of that part is sticky, so they won't go anywhere. So if you're like me and usually avoid using vertical planners for that reason, because there's not much room to write, that's another option that you can do, especially if you've got recurring tasks. There's a little bit of space down the bottom as well if you wanted to put like exercise or anything else there. And then nice big note section. And then over the side here, what I love is these 3 lists. So you could do, they've got contact, to do, and get. I would probably white those out and put must do, should do, and if I have time, because I really like doing that for prioritizing tasks. So even though there's not much space to write in the daily columns, you could put it down the bottom here, and then if you didn't want to use the sticky note idea, you could give it a little number and then put it up the top here as reference. And then also a habit tracker. So love habit trackers. Love that it's built in to the planner. So same spread each week, with the difference being that it's got quotes for each week, different ones, which is good. Lots of different fonts and color on the page. And then the dividers are all different. So it's got a nice hearts pattern. And the calendars, let's do the check. If you follow my blog, you'll know what check I'm going to do. It's coming. First, I'm not seeing any split boxes yet, which is good. Let's keep going. Okay, so instead of splitting the box when the number, so sometimes they'll go 29, split the box and go 30, or the other option they tend to do is put it up the top. So this one's a little different. They've added a row down the bottom for that extra day. I don't mind it. You still get a fair bit of note-taking space on the page, but you do, I guess, lose all this up the top. You can white that out and put other notes in there. So not too bad. You still get a full-size box. So I'm still pretty happy with that. So the months, as you can see when I flick through, are all different colors. Now at the back, this is a major pro for me. Check out the size of this tab. That is jumbo. Love it, love it, love it. Some tabs are really tiny and then you can't find them, so I really like that it's huge, easy to find these pages at the back. So in a similar style to all the other pages, it's got a border around it, and like with the cover as well, different borders, some graph paper if you wanted to do habit tracker, savings tracker, graph, year in pixels. They always look quite pretty. And there's ample notes pages at the back. Look at them all. Tons and tons of notes pages. Gives you a good variety. And then if we go right to the very back, another pocket folder, which is great. Could fit a fair bit in there. It's quite roomy. More notes pages. That's cardstock. I have to do a pen test to see how the paper goes in this planner. And then we've got dates at a glance for the current year, 2017. Well, it'll be the previous year when you use this planner because it is a 2018 planner. And then also for next year, which is 2019. And keeping with the rest of the planner, it starts on a Sunday and ends on a Sunday. Love the consistency. And then the planner has the same red on the back as the front and the same material. So on the whole, I don't mind this planner. I'm interested in using it and seeing how it goes and making a few little tweaks. Because I don't start at 7 a.m. But if you do have that sort of day with a schedule, this will be really good. Don't forget that you can always white out things if they don't suit you, and I do really love that sidebar as well. So I have all the links. The link will be below to all the dimensions and more photos, etc. And thank you again, Deb, for sending me this planner. So I hope you found this review helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more planner videos. There are tons coming for 2018.